The mermaid with strap, I think, can be further simplified into a progression, basically the next step after the semi-supine mermaid mashing drill. So just to remind everyone, as we're on the back for that first mashing drill, hoop to the ceiling, feet are a little wider than shoulder width apart. As that hoop swings over and we come from sacrum to greater trochanter, that bony nub of the hip, knee falls into the cup of the Achilles and lying on that arm on the side. Tucking the tail, curling the sternum to float back to center, and same thing to the other side. The mermaid with strap for the back body sternum opening, to really feel that opening of the back of the shoulder girdle in order to start really building that hammock that's a byproduct of that sternum to pubic bone, or really sternum to sacrum connection. That's your rolling like a ball, your teaser, your modified rollback in Pilates. We take this to the mermaid with strap, and it really gives the monkey purpose. It gives the ability to sort of that eccentric loading of the shoulder girdle, of sort of lowering yourself down from the tree or climbing back up in. The semi-supine mermaid mashing drill gives us that initial choreography. We just do the exact same thing, as opposed to on the ground with the back body or with the spine. We're just seated upright. So in order to simplify the cueing for that mermaid with strap, that back body sternum spiral stretch, windshield wipers of the knees. The knee is a way of cueing the distal femur, the end of the largest lever in our body, our femur. So as the knees fall, we feel a shift over on the seat, just curling that sternum, wide elbows where we can see them the entire time. As the knees fall and we shift over to the side, we arrive at the greater trochanter while we've mashed the butt on the way. That softening of the glutes and mashing them while we keep that sternal curl allows us to stay in this sort of back body hammock shape that's happening, that sternal curl, that sacrum to sternum, that introversion in the monkey body. So as the knees fall and we shift over, we arrive at the bony nub on the side of that femur, that greater trochanter. As we soften the butt, we curl the sternum, we hang into it, elbows wide where we can see them in our peripheral vision. And then to return, we tuck the tail, curl the sternum, mashing the butt on the way home, little scoop of pelvic floor to stabilize. And falling again to the other side, mashing the glutes till we arrive at greater trochanter, curling the sternum, wide elbows in our peripheral vision. So this just allows us that, treating it just like that semi-supine mash of sacrum to greater trochanter, mashing the glutes, sacrum to greater trochanter. I find it a much more integrated, softer, more connected experience to move through. And often the simpler answer is the correct. So understanding that as a byproduct of this first glute mashing exercise, that allows us to then proof that hanging into this kind of supple, powerful shape that is this introversion, which again is your root of, that's your teaser, you're rolling like a ball. When you invert that, it becomes the beginning of your extension work. So this really, and it even serves as, in archetypal postures, this really ultimately is our cross-legged seat of work and repose, or our long sit. So it's really important to figure out the simplest way possible to create these progressions of mashing to really integrate both keystones. And ultimately, I find that my preferred way to do that is to just teach it as the semi-supine mermaid, that initial mashing drill that wakes us up to that unwinding of the pelvic girdle, to then upright with a strap as a whole body sort of functional experience, giving the hands and the monkey some purpose with an apparatus, with something to hold in the hands.